Love your necklace, thank you. Can you guess what it is? Can you guess what it is? I'm being pretentious here, but can you guess what that is? It's a neck! Way!
Morons try to cancel live streamer Sweet Anita because they're too dumb to know what Tourette's syndrome is.
A Twitch streamer with Tourette's recently said the N-word on stream, and the fallout wasn't pretty.
This is just mind-boggling. I can't believe that this is the point that we're at with the woke culture.
And it's like, well, you clearly don't understand Tourette's, or else there would be no but at the end. You idiot.
So, I've been getting a lot of criticism lately for having a channel whilst having Tourette's syndrome. And the thing that sucks about that is that I'm not intentionally trying to offend anyone. If anything, I'm trying to be an example. I'm trying to show other people that have Tourette's that you can find love and acceptance on the internet, and that you don't have to fear the world just because you have a neurological disorder or a disability. That's really what I want to encourage people to feel and how I want people to respond to my content. But I also kind of want to specifically demolish the kind of what's the word? Kind of like the misunderstandings and the stigma against people with Tourette's syndrome, because a lot of people don't really know how it works, and that means that it can be really dangerous for us to leave the house. And one of the reasons why that happens is because some of us have coprolalia. Coprolalia will make you say inappropriate shit. It will make you say inappropriate things that you don't mean to say, that aren't necessarily what you're thinking or feeling. And the way that it works for me personally, and though it can be different for different people with the condition, is that if I worry about saying something, I'm more likely to say it as a tic. I have all sorts of tics. They're not all inappropriate. I say things like kitten all the time, but every now and again, probably several times a day at least. Wow, a fuck man. Again and again, I tend to say something inappropriate that I don't mean to and I'm not thinking. Or if I am thinking it, it's merely that I'm worried about saying it. And that worry and that anxiety can be a trigger, because strong emotions are a trigger too. Now, it got all over Reddit. It got all over Reddit livestream fails. I've been on several news articles all across the internet. People are debating whether or not I belong on Twitch or on YouTube, or if I'm making enough of an effort to censor myself and my condition in order to belong here. And there are so many people saying that I should either be warned or banned for simply having Tourette's and having coprolalia while streaming. And what I find unfair about that is those rules, the terms of service which dictate the whole of Twitch, and how you can behave on there, is there to protect people, not to bully people. It's there to prevent racism. You're not allowed to say certain slurs, and I inadvertently did say some racial slurs whilst having tics. And where that is a real challenge for me is because I can't act as though I'm ashamed of my condition, hide how it manifests, and encourage other people to accept themselves and their condition at the same time. I feel like censoring the way that I am would be a way of showing shame and would really hinder my ability to inspire others to get out there no matter how bad it gets. So I don't really want to censor myself. So instead I warn people before they jump into my content, whether it's on YouTube or on Twitch, and say I have Tourette's syndrome. Most everything that I put out there has Tourette's syndrome in the title. It's not because I'm using it for views, it's literally so that people don't abuse me or get angry with me and know what they're letting themselves in for when they jump into my channel. And that way I get a lot less hate, and that way people understand what's going on, and that is kind of like the initiator to my bitch, to kind of engaging with my content and my channel. So, whoa! With that whole introduction of what's been going on, I've got to say, lots of people have suggested loads of ways to deal with this, including being on a delay. I'm not going to do that. Ruining the interaction live with chat, just to act as though I'm ashamed of my condition, is not a good idea, I don't feel. And it's not really going to help with the whole not censoring myself and acting ashamed of my condition. I don't feel that the TOS is here to ban people with disabilities from joining the discussion and contributing. It's here to stop racism. And having tics that are inappropriate is not the same as racism. I'm not saying it to persecute anyone. No one's watching my stream, taking it seriously, and going out and persecuting anybody because of my content. They know it's an involuntary tic. I make that constantly, abundantly clear. So to censor me by the same standards of people who can voluntarily spew hate is a terrible idea. Some people have said that I should be allowed to have these tics, but only if other people are allowed to say whatever they want to, because everything has to be fair and consistent. I have a disability, you can choose what you say. The people arguing that they should be allowed to say the N-word just because I have Tourette's, probably not a good thing to come forward and say, because it really does look like you're digging for an excuse to spew hate on a platform that specifically doesn't want it there. So yes, that's all been happening, but the people who've been criticizing me, some of those people apologized, and I'm really grateful for that. They turned around, realized they were wrong, and decided to retract that statement and apologize to me. That's awesome. There was a young lady who changed her mind about what she said, and I'm so glad. What I'm not so happy about is that people used my condition and my predicament as an excuse to shame her and her body, to spam nude pictures, her nudes all over the place, and ridicule her content, and kind of poke fun at her from a sexual perspective and call her a booby streamer, and all sorts of nasty slurs about women. And that doesn't help me, and it doesn't help anyone with Tourette's. It doesn't educate anyone about Tourette's, which is what I'm here to do. I'm not here to encourage people to bully anyone. I'm not part of cancel culture. I don't jump down people's throats for misunderstanding. I don't think that helps anyone at all. Anyone who feels that criticizing her and her body and her content was a way to defend me, I don't accept that, and I don't want that, and you weren't helping me. Tourette's awareness is not about shaming anyone. You can't raise me up by tearing other women down. You can't. So stop. So it was really nice of Summit G to step forward, because he also defended his girlfriend initially.
And I just wanted to give an apology to Sweet Anita. I hope you're doing okay through all the bullshit. For Caroline, she knows she fucked up, and this is just gonna have to be, you know, something that she grows from and learns from. And I promise you that'll happen. It's not gonna be one of those moments where a person just stays the same. She's gonna learn from this, and this is gonna be a humbling experience for her. You know what I'm saying? Trust.
And I understand he had a very visceral reaction and wanted to, you know, stand up for his partner. That's fine. I understand, and it had nothing to do with condoning any bullying of people with Tourette's or anything like that. I don't construe it that way. If anything, I'm really surprised that Summit felt the need to apologize to me. It was really nice of him, but he didn't say anything mean to me. And I don't hold other people responsible for someone's actions. And as far as I'm concerned, something good happened. Somebody who didn't understand Tourette's now does. And that's all that needs to happen. I didn't really like the drama. I'm glad that accepting the apology stopped the drama and stopped people spectating and criticizing and really latching onto it in a negative way. Cool. Here's another point that I find really concerning about this whole drama, is that everyone's concerned about the N-word, but no one's concerned about the F-word. Whoa! So I've had homophobic slurs as tics for a very, very long time, since the beginning of this year at least. And nobody has come rushing to gay people's defense and been outraged by those slurs when I've had those tics. And that doesn't make sense to me. It really does reek of virtue signaling and bullshit if you'll stand up for black people, but not if they're gay. And that gay people don't trigger the same cancel culture reaction. So, you know what, if you're going to pretend that this is actually about defending anyone, at least be consistent and intersectional, because, yeah, gay people matter too. But I don't have any negative feelings towards black people or towards gay people, because Tourette's isn't about expressing what you're thinking or feeling.
I gotta tell you, in my interactions with Anita, she has been nothing but nice kind, supportive, go get him. She even gave me money when I was going through it one time, dude. Okay? Like, she's a true friend, and I don't want anyone thinking she's actually unironically racist. Go get him. Because people think Tourette's is just what you're hiding or what's just in your brain. Not the case, all right? She's a real one. I have nothing but love and respect for her. Call me a simp. Go ahead. But it is what it is.
So here's the thing. I'm not straight. And yet I say homophobic slurs as tics. I have had 2 girlfriends and 3 boyfriends. And I am very much familiar with the LGBT community. I know plenty of people within it, love them, and do not define them by their sexuality, but rather accept it as part of them. And it's not something that I particularly criticize or feel angry about. All love is love. And I think love is awesome. So by the same token, I don't have any negative feelings towards black people. Half of my family, my whole dad's side of the family, is black people. And people don't really know that about me because I'm always overexposed in my streams, so you can't see that I'm quite tan. And, whoa, I fuck men. Not that I would ever use my connection to black people as an excuse. I'm not going to use it as a card that says I get out of jail free. No, I am merely bringing it up because I lived with my dad when I was younger. He used to play a lot of rap music. I heard that word a lot. Didn't even know it was an inappropriate word. And it didn't really feel inappropriate until I started streaming. And it just doesn't come across as anything inappropriate or abnormal, or it's not like a word that really triggers me in any sense. So I guess it just hasn't sunk in. I'm kind of glad so far that it hasn't, to be fair, because I wouldn't be here probably. It's a Streaming has had an interesting effect on my tics because people have pressured me about it over and over again and wondered why I don't say it. And then said it's TOS. And then whenever it did end up coming out of me as a tic, people would really, really, really overreact and get angry and be convinced I was banned or get angry at me. I would get hate mail, I'd get DMs, you know, and it made it feel really inappropriate and surrounded a lot of anxiety and strong feelings around the world all of a sudden, which made me feel differently about it and made it seem like a slur, which made my Tourette's kind of centralize around it and latch onto the phrase even more. And the devastating effect of that now is that my dad rings me because it's Christmas and I don't want to pick up and I don't want to get in a call with him until the tic has passed, because my dad I saw my dad face a lot of prejudice growing up, and I can't imagine saying that word to him. I really can't. So I'm gonna wait to wish him a Merry Christmas until after this tic passes. It's having a bad effect on me. I had a really awkward interaction today. Got kicked out of a shop because I shouted the N-word, and it's starting to become a more and more frequent tic. And I'm doing my best to suppress it, but it's still really interfering with my life. So reading lots of hate comments and seeing it get spread across the internet and having such a visceral reaction to it from people has really affected me and made it more frequent, sadly. And it's so involuntary. And seeing people claim that I'm faking my tics and being edgy on purpose or trying to get away with racism, just really fragrant, like, it doesn't make sense to me. That is not something I benefit from. It's something I have to constantly fight against. And half of my content is literally about dispelling that myth so that people don't treat other people with Tourette's the same way, and that we can get out there and be safe and not be attacked or, you know, kicked off public transport. We get to go shopping in peace because more and more people can identify tics for what they are at a distance. I've seen the benefit, real life benefit, of there being more awareness. I constantly get messages from people who are like, I didn't even understand Tourette's before I saw your content, and now I'm getting diagnosed with it. I always wondered what was going on with me, and you helped me find out what it was, so thank you. There are people with Asperger's, with autism, with OCD, with schizophrenia, and all sorts of things going on, all sorts of challenges, messaging me going, I want to stream now. I was so scared to be in the public eye, but now I'm out. I want to get out there because I've seen you do it, and I feel like I can too for a change. And these sorts of things are profound to me. These sorts of things keep me coming back, even when some days it sucks. Because I want to be an excuse for people to love life and get out there no matter what challenges they're facing. And, you know, I think even if one person did, just because of my content, it would be worth it. So wow, so I'm still here despite the criticism, and I'll stay for as long as I can, trying to make a difference. I've spoken to Twitch on multiple occasions. I've had the N-word tick several times, long before this controversy with cancel culture. And I've asked if I've had to delete VODs, if I have to delete, you know, this or that, if I have to, if I have to stop streaming for a while. And they've said no, and it's okay, and I understand why. Because those rules are in place to prevent racism, not prevent disabled people from participating. So thank you, Twitch, for being so supportive and standing by me and allowing me to be here and understanding that context matters. Because otherwise I wouldn't be able to do what I do, and I love doing it. I don't love the awful ticks, but I do love being an excuse for people to better their lives and get out there. But yeah, I just want to clarify that ticks are not necessarily what you're thinking. Most of the time, they're not what you're thinking. In the rare case that it is what you're thinking, you probably only said it because you had a lot of anxiety about it being that specific phrase. And seeing as anxiety and strong emotions are such a trigger, it can really intertwine those intrusive thoughts into your ticks. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for giving me a platform to raise awareness about ticks and Tourette's. Because without you guys, I wouldn't have been able to reach as many people and help as many people get a diagnosis and get some context for the challenges in their lives and help and medication and things like that, because I needed that. I'm providing the content I needed in my teens when I was so confused and I thought, why am I such a terrible person? The truth is, I was doing stuff that was involuntary, but I didn't understand why. I was punching people in the solar plexus and winding them. I was shouting slurs and I was saying, hope you die, to people, and I was so scared of people's reactions. I was so scared to get out into the world. I thought that people would think I was an attention seeker. When I finally got a diagnosis, I was liberated. I was able to finally get out, rescue animals, interact, make friends, get an education, do shit that I've always wanted to do. It freed me, and it took my mid to late 20s for that to happen, and I want to be able to be the reason why someone's life starts early and they get a chance to get out there and have fun and be safe long before I did. Okay, so you guys are helping me do that every day that you watch my content, and it means so fucking much to me, because I want to set the story straight. I can't get back the years of my life I lost to not being diagnosed. But I'm hoping, really hoping, that I can give those years back to other people who struggle. And you're the reason I can do that. So thank you.
You got a lot of fans, you got a lot of love. Twitch love you, we all love you. We're all fucking fighting our own demons. Fuck everybody that pulls you down. Fuck them all, girl. You're worth a million more than what them wankers are. Fuck them all. No one's judging you, we all love you. I don't know you, but I love you. Carry on.